All right, we are on In Carnuntum, Part 10. Forget everything else. Keep hold of this alone and remember it. Each of us lives only now, this brief instant. The rest has been lived already, or is impossible to see. The span we live is small, small as the corner of the earth in which we live it. Small as even the greatest renown, passed from mouth to mouth by short-lived stick figures, ignorant alike of themselves and those long dead. End quote. He's said things like this before in past passages, that you shouldn't be afraid of the future, of future suffering, future hardship, for it hasn't happened yet, and so to live your life accordingly. And then also that you shouldn't, it's better off to not live with so much regret and guilt and shame about the past. And again, though, not to ever have these emotions, but to not dwell on them and kind of sulk in these types of emotions about the past, because it's gone and there's nothing you can do to change it but learn from it and apply those learnings to the present moment and to a degree the future. But the present moment is ever fleeting. It's ever coming and going, and as soon as it comes, it's gone in the same instant. So he's just saying to be mindful of where you are at right now, what you're doing, why you're doing it, the nature inside of you, and there's multifacets to that nature, but which part of your nature is compelling you and animating you in this exact moment. For me, I'm sitting here, I what's really getting at me right now is I want to keep reading this book, but I've gotten into these videos, and I can't just read the book. I have to read and record each one, not only because I got the audience here to provide it for, but it's just kind of part of my routine now. I do really like it. And honestly though, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the excitement of reading it, I almost have to contain it to not read a whole bunch of sections all at once, or to read ahead, because I want to approach each one with fresh eyes. So that's what's supposed to be, this whole thing, just a fresh perspective on it for those listening. But yeah, what's animating right? Like, it's kind of exciting to learn about this, exciting to dispel it, excited to provide my thoughts on it, hopefully provide benefit to other people, to help sharpen my mind and my perspective on life itself. There's a lot that goes into it. Also, a bit of I wouldn't say it's greed, but it's I'm hoping one day these videos, a client comes across them and thinks, oh wow, I want someone thinking like that to be my counselor, and not in a greedy sense, but like I will, my business will definitely be happy with that. But also though, it'll be nice because that'll probably mean that me and that client are really aligned, and I bet we'll have some great conversation about whatever they're going through. So yeah, to go on here. The rest has been lived already, or is impossible to see. So again, as much as we can plan, and it's in our human nature to plan and forecast for the future and use our mind's eye to do these things, ultimately we have no idea what's going to happen in the future. You could go home to winning the lottery or a death, and these things could change up everything in a moment, and all your planning is out the window. So he continues, though, the span we live is small as the earth, or small as the corner of the earth in which we live it. Small as even the greatest renown, passed from mouth to mouth by short-lived stick figures, ignorant alike of themselves and those long dead. So what he's getting at here is just, as big as the earth seems, it really is a small speck in the grand scheme of everything. Where we live, there's a beautiful, boundless valley in nature right over there. But it's still so small and insignificant in this grand scheme of things. And he's like, small as the greatest renown. It's kind of, I think it would be an oxymoron. If someone has great renown, like a figure like Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Cleopatra, even these people, I mean, you could argue that, where they've already lasted this long in time in history, they will for forever, but nothing ever lasts for forever. And as time goes on, even those with the greatest renown will be eventually forgotten. Even if it might take multi-lifetimes or generations. I'm sure there's some kings out there that thought they might have been a great king or queen, and they lived on for 500 generations. People spoke about them, and it seemed like it'd last for forever. But at the end of the day, they become forgotten. And so this last part, though, passed from mouth to mouth by short-lived stick figures, ignorant alike of themselves and those long dead. So he's getting at the people here that he's talking about people aren't living according to their nature and their values and virtues they want to uphold and living with intent. They're just going day through day, and they could be very, very nice people and kind and all these things, but they're not necessarily kind because they're outwardly trying to be kind. They might just be kind because they know it's what you do, without much thought. And the outcome of both the people who are trying to be kind and people just who are passively kind, the outcome might look very similar. But the difference is one person's doing it with intent and the other person isn't. And so the person who isn't necessarily living their life according to how they want. And they're living it ignorantly. It doesn't mean it here rudely, but rather that they're kind of walking through life blind or unconscious of what they're doing, why, just, it's a new day, that's great, let's live it, next week's going to be great, and they're just as ignorant of themselves as the long dead people who've come before them, and the people before them, and the people before them, and so he's saying, like, really, there's so many people like that, and it doesn't matter if you are like that or if you have excessive renown or extremely self-aware. We'll all be gone one day, and all we really have is right now, and to appreciate that and to do with it what you will and to live intently, so that way when you look back on your life and look back on your actions, you can honestly say that you tried your best and tried your best with what you knew and what you believed at that time, and you are always able to justify your own actions, whether they end up being right or wrong. In the end, at least you had a justification, and ideally that justification upholds against values like honesty and justness and responsibility and such. All right, thanks for listening.